Hi, are you worried about how you can help your child make informed career choice? If so, then this is the channel for you. In this channel, we source people from different career fields to come and share with us a bit of insights about the certain professions that they're already in. In doing so, we believe that we are helping learners know of the responsibilities that come with a certain profession. And with that information given to them, they can then make informed career choice and avoid being stuck in the day-to-day jobs that they're not happy with. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host Libo Shibase, and on today's episode, we are joined by a property investment expert who's been on the field for over 32 years, and 16 of those has been investing in property. Ladies and gentlemen, sit tight as I welcome Lloyd, who is here to share with us more about investments and the myths that come around with it. And I hope that you guys do enjoy these conversations. Please watch till the end as there's a lot to learn. Hi, Mark. Welcome to another episode of Complacency Learning. How are you doing today?
Fantastic, thanks.
Awesome. They say every day above the ground is a blessing, so you need to make sure that you make the best out of it, right? So it's something that keeps me going, actually. So before we start with the first question, can I just also give you a chance to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, Mark Lloyd, I'm based in the UK. I've been in business myself now for over 32 years, serial entrepreneur. I've only ever had one job in my life, which is when I left school. The last 16 years, I've been investing in property in the UK. So I'm a full-time property investor and property entrepreneur. I run a training company that teaches people how to do it in the UK as well. That's called Property Master Academy. And I also have a crowdfunding platform for real estate in various parts of the world. So currently, we're operating in the UK, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, New Zealand, Canada, and that's expanding. Soon coming to South Africa with our platform actually as well. So it's growing quite rapidly.
That's quite an impressive profile that you have there, I must say. Right. So in becoming the property investment expert, right? Obviously, there's things that you didn't know that you only found out once you were in the field. If I may ask, what is the one thing that you wish you had known before you began your career as an property investment expert?
Yeah, I've asked myself that question many times, and when I started investing in property, I had a telecommunications company,
Mm,
and my knowledge at the time said, like, if I want to do property, I need to raise some capital, and so we actually sold the telecoms company.
mm,
I didn't need to do that because what I know now is I could have kept the telecoms company and run property alongside it because I didn't need the capital that a lot of people think they need to start in property.
mm,
So in the UK and there'd be similar opportunities in where you are as well, that you can start in property with just a few £1,000s. I don't know what that is in rand, but a few £1,000s. And yes, of course, if the more money you've got, the more you can actually do. But there are so many strategies now where you don't need a lot of money. And I wish I'd known that when I started, because I would have my telecoms company, which would be
mm,
producing income for me alongside the property as well. So I would have had two concurrent businesses. But hey,
mm, mm.
don't know what you don't know.
I mean, they say as we grow, we learn along the way, right? So, and they say that, well, everything that we come across, every failure is a lesson. And speaking of failures, in becoming the person you are today, I'm sure you've encountered a lot of failures and you didn't allow for them to put you down, right? So, if I may ask, what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure,
Mm,
I nearly went bankrupt.
mm.
This was, I can't remember what year, but probably before you were born. They, um,
Yeah.
it was when, so it was during the 1980s.
Oh, wow, that's a
And
long time ago.
yeah, the
Mm,
interest rates in the UK went up to 17%.
mm,
Very high. I mean, by any standards, is very high. And
mm,
I just couldn't earn enough to pay my outgoings, my mortgage,
mm,
everything like that. So I kind of gave up. I just stopped totally because I thought, why am I working when I can't produce enough to pay for all the
mm,
bills? And I just got
mm,
heavy debt. I lost my house. I lost
mm,
my had. I split up with my then wife. She
So sorry to
custody
hear
of
that.
my daughter, and I couldn't even find anywhere to rent. So that was the lowest point of my life. But one thing I did maintain was a very strong mindset, very strong attitude. I'm a believer, always have been a firm believer. I can do what I want to do, whatever that may be, whether I want to turn my hand to. And in fact, shortly after all this, I met my very business partner, and we started a string of companies from that.
Oh, it's quite a challenge that you went through, hey? And seeing you here, you are today. That means you're a strong person, you know. As they say, that God gives his great battles to his great warriors, you know. So judging from that, I can say that you're a warrior, you know. So for people that would like to pursue the career similar to yours, what advice can you give them?
Well, property investing is quite can be quite a difficult career, if that's the right term. I think firstly, don't give up what you're doing. So don't do what I did. I had a business, but if you've got a job, don't give up the job to do property. Start it part time. Learn about it first. So attend some trainings, and I know there are definitely trainings in your country because I know some of the people that run them there. Attend some trainings, learn about it. There's lots of stuff you can do online now before you take the initial steps. The most important thing of all, though, is not just the training aspect, but it's actually getting someone to show you how to do it. And that's really usually a coach or a mentor. You know, I still have a mentor today. I've been in business for over 30 years. So getting someone that can actually hold you by the hand and take you through the steps to be successful.
Yeah, that's quite a long time that you've been in the business, eh? Because looking into your profile, I see you've been in the what you call this investment business for over 32 years, of which 16 of those you're investing in property, right? So building on to the next question, what are the resources that have best helped you along the way? Like, what have you read or listened to recently that have inspired you?
I read a lot of books. I don't listen to many audios, to be fair. I'm probably of an age where I remember pre-CD, so cassette tape, so on, which I did used to listen to in my car. Nowadays, it would be a CD, clearly, or my phone. But I suppose there was a couple of books that really helped frame my thinking. One of those was Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And the second one was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
I've read that one before. I think I even have it here. Yes, here it is, the first one.
Great book.
Yeah.
Awaken the Giant Within was kind of, it's more about the mindset and what you believe you can do, and the power of the human mind is unbelievable. And those two in particular. There's a few other speakers that I met along the way. I mean, there's a guy called George Zalaki, who produced a CD called Mind and Emotions, again based around the effects of the human mind and how we approach things, and they really helped me, along the way. I'm generally a positive person anyway, and I think you should always have books that you can read. And I've got one here. Excuse me a second, so you can see it. Oh, there we go. So Zig Ziglar,
Zig Ziglar,
Born to Win.
Born to Win.
Now, Zig Ziglar, of course, is dead now. He died a few years ago, but still got some great stuff in those books.
So speaking of the people that have been the most influential to you, you did mention John, and also we can also say this Zig Ziglar, what you call this, judging on the book that you just displayed now. So are there any other people who have influenced you the most, if I may ask?
Well, strangely enough, actually, it was the one job that I had, the guy that was my manager at the time, and he doesn't know this, by the way, so this is probably the first time on public media that I've actually mentioned it. So his name was Mike Bird. He was my manager. I was in banking. That was my very first job, the only job I've had. And he kind of changed my attitude, my way of thinking about things, and I realized that I could be better than I was. That's really down to him. He gave a lot of encouragement. I didn't like him to begin with, but I grew to like him. And shortly after, actually, my if you like, him being my manager. I became a manager myself.
mm,
Because of that, I think I put that down to him, and then that's when I left financial services and decided, actually, you know what, I can do
mm,
something else. I can make a lot more if I go on my own, and that's exactly what I did. As I
mm.
said, I've been now in business now for over 30 years, 32 years.
Awesome. We all have to start somewhere. Hey, we can't just start like a baby needs to crawl and then take those baby steps and then before he could walk and then after walking then comes running. Can't just be born, running. So I believe that all the things that we come across in becoming the people we are today, they're the ones that have actually helped us become who we are. Because if it wasn't because of them, we'd probably be somebody different or somebody that we don't even like, right? So now I have to say that myself, I'm in the education field. So I teach, I tutor, I do this podcast also to help learners make informed career decisions. Right. So and one of the common myth about education is that I like to use this one actually, that teachers work lesser hours compared to other professions. And I believe that it's false because there's time that they spend preparing for lessons, marking the scriptures, and also coming up with expanded opportunities. Right. So if I may ask, in terms of property investment, is there any other myth that you would like to debunk?
Yeah, I think the main one is that you need a
Mm,
lot of money.
mm,
Uh,
mm,
I think the biggest thing about property, a lot of people see property and say, well, I can't afford to buy that house because I don't have the money.
mm,
But you don't need a lot of money. Once you actually understand about investing, and
mm,
particularly property investing, you don't need to have a lot of personal money, and that is a big eye opener for
mm,
most people.
mm. That's quite a good one because I've also heard people saying that. I've also been thinking that myself, that you need to have a lot of money to actually get into property, right? So now, if you could step into my shoes, what would you ask yourself that I did not?
What would I ask myself?
Mm,
Um, I think when you're starting out, there's lots of questions
mm,
because new to you, you're still learning, and but the one overriding factor, and I didn't pick up on this straight away, but I have had certainly in my life a lot of different coaches,
mm,
and seek out a coach because yes, it's going to cost you money. Okay,
mm, mm,
people
mm,
don't coach for free. Anyone that provides advice for free is easy,
mm,
right? But when you pay for that advice, it means a lot more to you.
mm,
And
mm,
getting a coach or mentor, similar kind of things, really. Coaches in multiple industries, mentors are specific. So I'm a mentor in property. I mentor a lot of people investing in property around the UK and sometimes other parts of the world as well. So
mm,
seek someone out that can help guide you so that you don't make the mistakes.
mm,
I've made lots of mistakes. People I teach, I make sure they don't make the same ones I did.
mm,
That's kind of what I would say, is just seek someone out that can help
mm,
you.
mm. And here also in South Africa, a lot of people went into investments because, like, when was it last year, 2020? Because the prime rate had become low, so a lot of people capitalized on that. So I agree with you when you say that a lot of people are investing, and even now they're still investing, taking advantage of the market, right? So to those of our listeners who would like to connect with you online, where can they do so?
Yeah, well, you can connect with me on LinkedIn.
Mm,
I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. So Instagram is Mark Lloyd Property.
mm,
On LinkedIn, it's Mark Lloyd PMA, and on Facebook, I think it's Mark Lloyd 6.
6.
Um, yeah,
Awesome.
but yeah, by all means, connect with me. I've got two websites. You've got propertymasteracademy.co.uk,
Mm,
and that training company. And then there's maxcrowdfund.com, which is the crowdfunding platform. That also has a link to my LinkedIn profile from there as well.
great. I'll just make sure that everything that you've mentioned that I put at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so here comes one of my favorite questions. Right, the word learning. It seems like a lot of us don't understand what the word learning means because we still have these fantasies that we can just go to sleep and then wake up. We have learned everything, or maybe we've learned a new skill, or we've mastered whatever we plan to. And also and during that process, when we realize that it doesn't happen like that, we tend to quit learning because we feel that it's too much. For me, I believe that This word needs what you call this consistency, and you need to be determined, right, to learn. So if I may ask, what does the word learning mean to you?
The word learning is something I do every day. I
Mm,
think learning is a lifelong task.
mm,
It's not something that you do for a few years when you're younger at school. I
mm,
think it's something that you do as a lifelong thing. Whether you're in your job, whether in a business, you're learning new things every day, different aspects of it.
mm,
And me, learning is really about um, expanding your knowledge on whatever it is you want to expand your knowledge on. So, that book I just gave, I mentioned, The Born to Win one by Zig Ziglar, is very much about mindset and attitude, determination.
mm,
Lots of things you can learn, but sometimes you've got to be born with certain things, and that inner drive will push you
mm,
forward. The knowledge aspect, whilst I wouldn't have to say, to do my role, do I have to have a degree? No, I don't. Do I have to have lots of qualifications? No, I don't. But as
mm,
long as you're continuing to learn about what it is you're trying to do, I think that's the most important aspect of all.
mm, mm. And just to add to learning being lifelong, I'm a true believer that the world is an ever-changing place, and the only way to keep up with it is through learning. We don't learn, then the bus leaves us with that information and the knowledge that we actually need to actually move forward, right? And I think a lot of us don't realize that for us to become as successful as we want to be, it starts from learning, right? So I have to be thankful that you brought it up. Okay, so. This brings me to the end of the episode. If I would like to ask, is there anything that you would like to add about yourself, about property investments, everything that you do, and how it works, and everything?
Yeah, I can add a few things. So, I mean, from the learning aspect, if you like, from property, that's what my Property Master Academy company does.
Mm,
We mentor investors from different areas, from certainly obviously within the UK, but we also mentor some overseas investors as well that want to invest in the UK. And then there's our crowdfunding platform if you want to look at investing outside your country at the moment. But we will have a presence in South Africa later this year when we launch our platform there. We already have a partner um, that is ready to go in South Africa, which we're really looking forward to, because and it will open it up to a lot more people. We're going to bring down the average investment limit. So on that, I don't know what the equivalent is in rand, so excuse me, but down to £100. So that should make it available to a lot more people to be able to invest.
mm, mm. If I may ask, by when do you plan to bring it in South Africa?
Well, we're in discussions at the moment. They got delayed a little bit, but we're due to catch up with them again the end of this month.
Mm,
And once we get the agreement signed, it then takes us about 3 months to get our
mm,
platform adjusted to the local regulations. Obviously, cut the rand, the currency, and so on. Those things have all got to be fed in.
mm.
So I would expect latest would be by about September.
By September. Right, that's great. Thank you very much for that. Right, I just want to say also that we live in a very busy world, and it's kind of hard for us to actually have a free time where we can just sit and educate others. So for that, I just want to say thank you. It's been an honor to have you on our today's episode. It really means a lot, and I believe that a lot of us are gonna learn about being myself being one of them. I've really learned a lot. Like I've said before, that I had a different mentality about investments, right? It's in properties, but then now you actually shine the lights into the right direction, and for that I just want to say thank you. And yeah, so also to wish you a lovely weekend further, and um, very lovely days to come.
Thank you very much, you too.
Thanks a lot. Hey. Thank you. Ladies and Bye. gentlemen, you've heard it yourself from McLeod, and we do believe that you've enjoyed and learned a lot from everything that was discussed in today's episode. If you would like to get in touch with McLeod in terms of investments and any other reasons, please do so at the details provided at the bottom of the screen. And in doing so, please remember to like and subscribe so you are notified when a new episode is posted. Ladies and gentlemen, may everything that you touch turn into gold or diamond or whatever you want it to. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to wish you nothing but the very best of greatest days to come. And stay tuned for more episodes as we promise to bring you nothing but the best.